Hello and welcome to this introduction to multi-factor authentication on call recording. In this video we will show how multi-factor authentication, or MFA, is enabled and configured via the call recording portal. We have improved security by adding MFA to the call recording portal. You will need global user access to enable, change, or disable multi-factor authentication for call recording at the company level. Staff users can be given the ability to enable or disable their own MFA if required. Once enabled, MFA validation requires a separate device that can support an authenticator app such as Microsoft Authenticator. You should ensure these devices are available to all users you wish to validate through MFA. Multi-factor authentication adds an additional layer of security to your accounts by using a second source of validation on top of your username and password. When enabled, users will be required to input their call recording username and password as usual, as well as a separate 6-digit password generated by an authenticator app. This ensures strict user verification. Multi-factor authentication must first be enabled at the company level by a call recording global user. Once logged in to the call recording portal, navigate to Company MFA via the Welcome Screen option or via the left-hand side menu. The options for MFA are as follows. MFA disabled. This is the previous default setting and no MFA is used. MFA available, optional for everyone. This allows individual users to decide whether they wish to use multi-factor authentication. By default, multi-factor authentication will be off, but each user will have the capability to enable their own MFA if desired. This ability can be removed on a per account basis as needed. MFA enabled, mandatory for everyone. This ensures all users are required to validate via MFA. Once the desired MFA option has been selected, simply click Save. If MFA needs to be removed from a company, return to the Company MFA option through the Welcome screen or the left-hand menu and select MFA Disabled before clicking Save. Global users can check the current MFA status of other users in the call recording company. If MFA is enabled for the company, the Users section will show an MFA status column. This column will display the status of each user's multi-factor authentication, which can be one of the following. Disabled. User does not currently use MFA for validation when accessing the call recording portal. Active. User currently uses MFA for validation when accessing the call recording portal. Awaiting registration. MFA has been enabled on this user, but they have yet to complete the first time setup. Please note that the status column to the left is always visible regardless of a company's MFA status and refers to the user's call recording portal account only. If you have selected the MFA Available, optional for everyone setting for your call recording company, you may wish to remove the ability to manage MFA for certain users. Select users from the Welcome screen or the left-hand side menu. Choose the required user from the list or search for them via the search bar. Click the pencil icon on the right. On the Modify User pop-up, select the Roles tab and then move the Access to Manage Own MFA role from Assigned to Available via the arrow. Should you ever wish to restore this capability, simply move this role from Available to Assigned. Click Save to confirm this action. Global users can reset MFA for any user that currently has MFA active. This can be done from the Users section by clicking on this icon. Resetting MFA in this way will mean that that user will have to complete the first time setup again. Global users can also enable MFA and assign MFA-related roles when creating a new user. During the user creation process, select MFA Enabled to activate MFA. This will force the new user to complete the first-time setup process. The roles that are available for new users will depend on the policy they are assigned. Global users will have both access to manage company MFA and access to manage own MFA roles available to assign. All other users will only have access to manage own MFA available to assign. Please note that all MFA related roles will only be available for new users if MFA is enabled at the company level. First time setup and the new login process for MFA is detailed in the multi-factor authentication user guide video. The process is the same for all call recording user accounts. And that's it. You can now enable and modify MFA for your call recording companies.